Right, February day, just been for a bike ride, and I thought this is my workshop, and I just thought I would have a go at printing a new plate that I've been working on. It's a Portuguese Man of War, taken from drawings that I did in November at Mountbatten Beach, where I found several Portuguese Man of War had been washed up and were just sort of resting on seaweed and looked rather beautiful, sort of beautiful jewel-like colours. So this is a cut-out etching plate, copper plate, and I'm going to do the tendrils with a collage, and this is the collage, a piece of acetate, and I've glued some pieces of foam board and mount board to make a relief plate. So when I roll this through the plate, this will be embossed into the paper. This is my paper, which has been soaked in the bath for a couple of days and put in a bag, so it's not bone dry and it's not soaking wet, just trying to keep it clean. So this just wants to go in my blotter, into my blotter. So that can just sit there for a moment while I ink the plate up. This is my hot plate. I'm going to heat the copper plate so that the ink is easier to rub into it. I'm going to mix up a bit of ink. I don't normally use coloured inks, but I've got this really beautiful blue, which I'm going to mix with a little bit of black. So it'll be a very, very dark bluey black. When I was at school and I first started learning etching, we actually had to make our own ink, and we used to have to grind different pigments, and then we had weak oil and strong oil, and we used to have to grind it, then mix these different oils into it to get the right consistency. Then we'd have to wrap it in newspaper and leave it for a few days. So we did everything really from start to finish. Jolly messy though. A little bit of ink on this piece of rubber, which is really good for squeegeeing the ink into all the lines. But you don't want it too hot, otherwise the ink is too soft and it just wipes off again. It's grey, I'm wiping canvas, and I use this in a circular motion, make it into a pad, and I use it in a circular motion to force the ink into the lines and gradually take some away. So I have lots of very grubby bits, so I use a very inky bit, and then I use a slightly less inky bit. And just as I push and twist, the ink's forced into the lines and the excess ink comes away onto the wiping canvas. Gradually using slightly cleaner bits just to wipe the ink off. Circular motion. I'm going to hand wipe the plate to remove excess ink. So this is some French chalk. I just put a little bit on the side of my hand. Mixed up a little bit. And then just gently wipe with my hand, just the side of my hand, and this just takes any excess ink off the surface and leaves the ink in the lines. I've hand wiped the plate. Now I just need to clean off the ink around the edges so that when it goes through the press it has a nice clean edge. This plate started off, I heated it and put a thin layer of wax over the surface. I then smoked it with some lighted tapers, and the soot from the tapers mixed with the wax ground and hardened the surface, so I had a matte black wax surface to draw into. I then drew my design onto the plate through the wax with an etching needle, and then I etched the plate in nitric acid, and the acid bit through the lines that were exposed in the copper. I've warmed the plate slightly, so I'm just going to put that here in amongst my collagey tentacles. Hopefully that's in about the right place. And then I get the paper and then very carefully I line up the paper on this edge down onto there. I use these pieces of cardboard because I've got such inky fingers and I don't want to get ink all over my blankets. I've got the first blanket. This is called a fronting. This is very fine wool. And then I have some more blankets which are called swan skins. I don't know why they're swan skins because they've got nothing to do with swans. But these go down. Make sure they're nice and smooth. porridge this morning. This is quite hard work. I roll the plate and the collage through the press. My press is actually, as you've probably spotted, is not a real etching press, it's actually a converted mangle. And peel off the paper, and hopefully there will be a Portuguese Man of War. With embossed tendrils. I've dried the Portuguese Man of War etching, and this is the first print that I've actually coloured. I'm very happy with it, but I'm going to strengthen the colours on the pneumatophore and some of the tendrils. They're going to be slightly stronger colours. And here is the finished printed etching with the first state that I've done with some of the hand colouring. I have printed some more and they're drying at the moment, so this is really just a prototype, but I'm happy with the way that it's working out.